The dad jokes have started. Claire Coffee, guys, please go follow this lovely lady. She's a food and drink streamer who streams out of Belgium, and her streams are just delightful. This woman knows a lot about coffee too. So I will say this, if you are interested in coffee, we just do a French press. That's all we do. We're very boring when it comes to coffee. She has all these sorts of different devices on how to brew coffee, how to make proper iced coffee so you don't get that bitter aftertaste. But this woman knows her stuff, and absolutely delightful to go hang out with. I absolutely love your community. And when she has some of her friends come over, like when Michelle comes over, I'm telling you, the shenanigans that start, they were slapping each other's faces with tortillas. The last stream I tuned in, that was just like a couple of days ago, you had friends over, and I'm like, I would just start laughing right away. I would just start spitting water everywhere. And if you want to make it really interesting, don't do water, do something else. Do something else. Lori says hi. He just put his arm up and waved. Just put up arm and waved. And Jane Henry, food and drink streamer, she's part of the table group, and I will tell you, that woman cooks soul food from her soul. You can tell when she is in there cooking, a lot of love goes into every dish that she does, and she is a very gracious human being and looks out after other people, which I really, really appreciate and really, really love that. Really love that. You guys have got to go follow these people. So this is, real quick, these will not get really brown, even the recipe. These are, okay, don't focus, okay, really focus on the thing over there. There you go. These are popcorn cookies. So this is 1 1/4 cup of AP flour, 2 cups of fresh popped popcorn, not butter flavored, just buy raw kernels. Let me tell you, start doing your popcorn in a pan you'll never go back to. Just pass the cookie dough through. I mean, this is, you can smell the corn, you can smell the popcorn, but this also has pecans and chocolate chips. Those are good. The popcorn isn't a dominant flavor like people think it will be. It's just a hint. That crunch, right? I've never done the plain popcorn in a paper bag. The last time I did it in a paper bag was when I worked in California. I had just like a brown lunch bag, and I was just gonna pop some popcorn in, and it caught fire. Those are good. Oh. I like it when the bottom looks like this. Because when it gets that, come on, see those little bubbles, those little aeration bubbles? That is the McMarvin. Hello, I will take that lurk. Glue fumes on my wallet. Oh my gosh. Neon, go for a walk outside. Get a lot of fresh air if you can. If you're able to go walking outside, I don't know what the weather like is where you're at. Definitely get outside. And John sucks at life. Yes, you got a gifted sub earlier today. I was so happy to see you got one of those. That's good. Don't throw these in your drawer. It's the biggest waste of space in your drawer. I have an old Tupperware here. And what's inside this Tupperware? Chip clips. Normally I have enough of them that I'll just put them on. So whenever I need a chip clip, and it doesn't take up a lot of drawer space, the ones I normally have on the bottom, but they're being used right now, are the ones that are longer. So when you're doing something like a big bag, and you're putting that real long, heavy-duty chip clip, those are normally down here in the bottom. But these I just put up here, and then whenever you need a chip clip, because a lot of times you were in your pantry or you're in the cupboard, you've opened something up, you've scooped it out, now you've got it, and you're like, oh crud, now I gotta go find something to seal this up with, or we roll it down and we stick it off to the side and we forget about it. If you have your chip clips where you're doing most of your prep stuff, you always have them available with you. Always, always, always. Pantry jars. I use my mason jars a lot. I do have some old spaghetti jars in there and old mayonnaise jars. Believe it or not, people, mayonnaise used to come in glass jars. They never came in plastic before. And John does not suck at life. I think John is wonderful. What tea do rich people buy? Property! Now, I'm going to show you something else. I don't do this because I have this nice big cutting board area that has shelves, but a big space that's missed out on. I mean, hey, let's do it on this. Let's do it on this cabinet here. These are pushed all the way. This is as far as these go in. So think about that when you're buying shelves, is to make, if they go in, so long as they're flush with this shelf here, you're going to be able to close this door. If they're not flush here, you're not going to be able to close this door. So I have a little bit of a gap here that allows this door to close. Other shelves, if they go in like about an inch, you still have, and now we'll show you on this side here because I don't have any of those shelves in here. If I push all these back, I have storage here, right, in the very front, but I don't want to put anything here in front of it because I want to be able to see that. That's where you utilize this space right here. And one of the best things to utilize that particular space for, I'm going to show you a picture. We're going to show you a, where is my, these you can buy on Amazon. I don't remember how to do this. Is it that? Can you guys see my screen okay? So these right here, I'll put this up here. These stick directly onto the back of your cabinets, or on the inside of your cabinets, and then you just slip your lids inside there. And they have different sizes, so different size lids, right? But you can utilize these anywhere. Can you guys see my mouse moving when I do this? That's one thing I didn't think to ask. Yeah, these are pretty cool. These are pretty cool. You can see the mouse? Oh, yes. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. That's okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. There we go. So that's one thing on there. I'm going to show you guys now the ones that I don't. These are the ones I don't care for. Is these right here. Now this is a great thing in premise, right? But if I have these black beans, if I have 2 cans of black beans here, I'm not going to put them on top of this shelf. All this space right here is now dead space. I would put 1 can here and put another can on top. Then now here we have 2 different items, right? So now we can't stack one on top of the other. But that is all dead space right in through there. I would rather put a shelf that comes up like this and across and down. I could put singles inside. I can put the ones that are the same underneath the bottom and the ones that are different on the top, and I would write on the top of here like whole corn, peeled tomatoes, chunky tomatoes, and put the name on top of it to be able to see them a lot easier. Yeah, all of this is lost. All of this right here is lost real estate. I mean, it's great in theory, right? It's great in theory, but when you think about some people who do not have, and I'm very fortunate that I've got a pantry like this, right? Most people are dealing with kitchen cabinets, so you have to get really inventive. You put something like that in a kitchen cabinet, maybe pull out the shelf. That's dead space, 100% dead space. So these stackable ones I don't really care for. Now these are the ones that I am probably going to be purchasing today, is these here. Now these, there we go, I'll zoom in a little bit. These have a rail that bolts down, so it has a bolt, a screw that goes here, one goes here, one goes here, and one goes here. And you can use these for pots and pans, but I'm going to be using them for jars, not jars, I'm going to be using them for canned goods. And I'm going to be using them for large canned goods, not your 14-ounce cans of tomatoes. But if you buy like large cans of stock or something like that, and then this whole shelf glides out nice and easily to where you can pull, I can take that entire tray and I can pull it towards me and I can find exactly what I need to have in there. Now that's not good for me when I have, we'll do this can, and we'll do, oh heck, we'll do pineapples. Why not? Because that shelf is so shallow, right? And this is one thing I don't know if I can do. I don't know if I can stack cans on top. Will the weight handle it? Yes. If they glide smooth, then I can stack cans like this on top, right? And pull it towards me. And when I pull it open, but the downside is if this is in the back and this is on top, and I have cans here in the front, I don't know what this is. I have to be able to move cans to be able to see what this is back in there. If they're all stacked like this all the way through, I can write on the can. So when I slide this out towards me, you know, I slide this out towards me. Where? There we go. The one in the front, I'm like, oh, that's beans. Well, what's this one? I have to lift it up. So I have to, oh, there we go. I'd have to lift it up to where I can see it. Or I could just write sliced pineapple on the top. If I write sliced pineapple on the top, I don't have to waste the time pulling all these canned goods out to try and see what they actually are. Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is, Jedi. And from what I see on there, it says that they have, it's getting really good reviews in how the gliding action. One person was concerned because they wanted to use it for their heavy pots, and they were concerned that the weight would not allow it, and everybody has talked about it, they say they glide perfectly. So, and it doesn't have to be all your big, you know, your big cans or whatever. That's fruit, and that is beans. You could do it for things like if you have boxes of if you don't want to do something that's heavy, you have boxes like this is a green curry, a Thai meal kit, green curry. I don't remember when I picked this up. It had to be last year. I really need to use that. But that's what I'm going to primarily be using those for, and that's what makes them easy. The other one I want to show you guys, let's close this one out. The other one I want to show you guys is, now I don't do this one. I don't do this one. Come on, open. There we go. Because the back of my pantry door is glass. So if I had this rack on the back side of my door and it thunks, but these right here are really, see here they got their bulk items, but you notice how all these shelves are adjustable? Each one can be adjusted by up to about, oh, this one here, so you could drop this one down if you want to. But each one of these is adjustable. So down here, now what I would do is I would not put my paper towels down here. This is a very light item, and yes, they're bulky. I'd have my paper towels up here. I would take what these heavier ones are, and I'd have these down here. These here, I would probably have up here. So I want you guys to think about where things are at, and think about what are your physical capabilities. Up until, it's been 3 years, I got movement of my arm back. Hello, Bales Barbecue, nice to see you. You haven't, now why do you hate it, Todas? Tell us why you hate it. And I'm gonna grab myself another cookie because, yeah, because cookies. Have you worked commercial food production too? Not commercial food production, no, I've never worked in a restaurant or a fast food. I just did my own personal chef stuff. Okay, yeah. Sweet tea, here, hang on. Sweet tea, this would be for you, hang on. There's these. Now these come in different sizes. So you can put like spices in, excuse me, spices in here. I believe this is 12 inches deep this way, 7.5 inches, no, 7.5 inches this way. And I think it's 5 inches this way, but and they come in 4 packs. So here what's nice, it's got this handle on the front right here, right? So you can use this handle, you can pull the drawer out towards you. You could see through on the labels, or you could again write on the top of your cans across the top. So you pull this out, boom, my green beans are right here, my corn was back here, and you'll have to pull them all out of the container to actually see. So these are a really nice option, and you can also use these in your refrigerator. But that brings me to, let me get this can be used in the refrigerator and or your pantry. Oftentimes we do, okay, you can tell I had my cursor on it when I was grabbing the picture from Amazon. So here they're using their cheeses, but they're putting their small little tiny items up on top on this little tray here. These little items are what get lost, and like if one of those cheese things got put back here, this cheese fell over here, you might not see that little baby bell for a month or more. So this is where your small items go. So you could use this down here for canned goods, like your smaller canned goods. And by smaller canned goods, I mean canned goods like, or take a chilies, diced green beans, chipotle chilies. Put these in the bottom. Then with that little shelf up on the top, you could put maybe some of your envelopes of seasoning inside there. Your little, remember my little packet of taco seasoning? So you could have your taco seasoning up there, your chilies and your peppers down in the lower portion, your smaller cans of we talk about these. These are smaller than, they're the same height though. Nope, they're smaller in stature. So you got your standard green beans, which is 14.5 ounces. And then a lot of times your diced tomatoes come in little 10-ounce cans. And so these are narrower. Come back over here. This one here is more narrow than this one here. And they're different heights. So you've got all sorts of these different containers. Now, I know a lot of people see stuff on TikTok. I'm not anti-TikTok. I think there's some valid stuff out on TikTok. I'm not anti-TikTok. But they make it like every pantry you have to decant to remove out of the original packaging and put it into a different packaging and make it this. I know I get people go, oh my gosh, I love all your mason jars. And I look at them and I go, they're just mason jars. I have several hundred mason jars out in my garage right now. It's what I mean, with canning, I have a lot of mason jars. But they seem to think that you have to have these special little labels that you're going to put on there. And they're like, you need to use the wipe away ones, or you can put the tape on there that's chalk, and you get the chalk pen and you can write on there that this is rice. And Jane, simply anti-ignorance. That is true. That is true, Jane. And so, like I said, some of the canning recipes on there literally make my skin crawl. It's horrible. Sister Blue, hello. So I don't know if I have one of these in here. Hang on, let me see if I can find my, is this it? Nope. Yes, by the way, his cookies are open too. I've got one in here. Oh, this one right here. So this is one thing I recommend that you do. I don't like to keep my flour and stuff into bags. Bags are porous and insects can easily chew through them and leave a hole that you will never see. Bog Brush, 5 months. Thank you so very much. Bog Brush, you get your name up on the door. What color can would you like? I have light green and dark green. I have blue, I have yellow, I have red, I have pink, I have purple. I do have a full bar. Wait, your stove burnt? Oh my gosh, Roland, I am so sorry. That's awful. What do we need? What do we need? Can we do yellow? Yellow is such a happy color. I love the yellow. I love the yellow. Noon is being delivered tomorrow. Potato chips, how are you doing today? $2.51. I want to make sure I have that on there. Bog Brush. So anything in plastic bags, even food saver bags, are porous. Over time, they are going to leak and they are going to develop holes, particularly if they're frozen. So that's why I put anything that's grain, rice, nuts, I put into mason jars. But you know, so sometimes I will take, let's do this here. So look at this. This was some golden corn flour that I bought. This is Bob's Red Mill. So I just cut the label off the bag and taped it onto the jar, right? Oh, by the way, this is a mason jar. This is a peanut butter lid from Peanut Butter, Jiffy peanut butter. It fits on there really great for storage thing. But what I did is I cut off the directions on here of how to make corn tortillas. I just cut that off, stick it inside the jar. So now I have my original label and the directions in there to actually do that. Thank you, SP. So it's one way you always have your directions and everything on there. And then if you go to a grocery store that sells bulk, you can take your jars and have them tear the weight. And that Colino. Can we get a shout out for Colino, please, while I'm sitting here chewing on a popcorn cookie? Please go follow Colino, guys. Master bartender right there. Master bartender. he has a lot of fun in his stream. Hang on, my nose is running again. And if you have questions about spirits being used, a lot of it, he can tell you the history of it and how it came to be, which I think is sometimes as much fun as it would be to try everything. But he also takes some of these cocktails and does them non-alcoholic for the people who don't want to have alcohol, but still want to have a mocktail. Oh, Kalina, we adore you. Absolutely adore you. I haven't been able to get into the evening streams as much lately because I've been working on a project, and I'm kind of like, sometimes I'll lurk, but I put the computer down, I forget that it's on, because I'm focusing on a particular project right now that I have to get done. Oh, that's nothing. Come out to my garage. I have an entire cabinet that size, it's just jars. Oh, and in the other, I've got jars, and I've got jars down here too. I have jars over there. I have jars. I have lots of jars. I love my mason jars. What was I talking about? Oh, the reason why I want you to have a shelf or something in there that you can pull out what you have to see what you have, particularly before you're getting ready to go to the store, is if I was going to the store right now, you saw what I went through up there with those darn chocolate chips, trying to get all those chocolate chips down. It's like, oh, these are the white ones, these are the mini ones, these are the ones that are already open, these are the other, these are toffee bits and whatever. If I had a shelf that I could have pulled that out, I could have quickly seen what I had in the way of chocolate chips. The problem with sometimes is having these deep shelves is if you have everything crammed in there, stuff gets lost in the back a lot. And then you overbuy stuff. And let's face it, groceries are heck expensive right now. So I went in, I was looking at cans of fruit. I want to have some fruit to go with, we've got veggies, we've got soup, we've got rice, we've got pasta. Oh, I have some containers of rice milk over there. And I wanted to buy some fruit. And I was looking at these cans of fruit. I'm just talking about pears, peaches, and whatever. $2.39 for one can of fruit. And I'm like, how do people afford this kind of stuff? It's just absolutely nuts. Wait, is Banzai here? Is Banzai here? Girl, how you doing? I think we just did a shout out for Kalino. And if we didn't, if we could please, then we need to get a shout out for Banzai Merlin. She's a fun food and drink streamer, people. We've rated her a couple of times. Might I